So, hey, teacher friends, let me ask you this question. Have you ever caught yourself saying, look, I don't know if I can do this another 5, 10, 20 years. And then immediately you feel guilty right after you said that? And if you have, then hear me. Wanting more for your life doesn't mean that you don't love your career any less, okay? Nobody talks about that part. It's okay for you to want more. I've been a teacher for 20 years, and after about my 5th year of teaching, I became extremely exhausted after every year. So every May, I was like tired, dog tired, okay? And then I went through a stage of where I thought, okay, maybe that year wasn't that bad. Maybe I can go another year. Maybe next year will be different. I'll start off fresh. Maybe I'm just burned out right now. And then in a couple of months, when August, September hit, I'll be all right. I'll be able to push through. But to be honest, my stress level was through the roof. I was overworked, overwhelmed, and just running on empty. There was like so much expected of me. There was little resources, little support. The kids every year just getting crazy. They dealing with a lot. I'm dealing with a lot. Policies were just a mess. There wasn't a lot of support. These parents be out here doing the most. Kids be doing the least. And it's just new demands piled on us every year. So, and I mean, if you're a teacher, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, and it's not like it's just one big thing. It's like several little things every single day that you're dealing with. So, but I do want to stress this though. I love being a teacher, and I'm saying that present love, even though I left teaching this at the end of this year. I love being a teacher because it's something it's in me, and teaching has its rewards. And there are moments where I really felt fulfilled. But it was also costing me. It was costing me my health, mentally and physically. It was costing me time with my family, relationships, and it was just like I was giving everything to everybody else, and I had nothing left for the people that I love the most. And then finally, I had to stop and, just take inventory and look at what it was doing to me outside of the school, outside of those halls. And I couldn't just keep pretending that I was fine. So, for a long time, I really thought I only had 2 options: either stick it out, stay and burn out, or leave and start over. And after 20 years, I mean, it's kind of hard to just say, hey, I'm finna peace out. I'm finna leave and start over. But then it hit me that quitting was never the real answer. The real problem is that I was scared. I was terrified because everything in my life depended on that one paycheck. And then when everything rides on one paycheck, it controls your decisions. You don't really have a lot of choices. You stay because you have to, not because you want to. And what I found out is that actually I didn't really need to actually quit. I just needed options. So I created some options for myself, and I wasn't even trying to become an entrepreneur. I just wanted options. I wanted choices. I wanted other streams of income so that I could pick and choose what I wanted to do and not just be tied down to, hey, I got to stay here, tough it out because this is my livelihood. This is what puts food on the table and pays my bills. But I want to move on to just the nugget of what I'm talking about. Most teachers think that the problem is burnout. And believe me, burnout is real. I know burnout is real, but burnout isn't the trap. Dependence is. So when your whole financial life depends on one employer, every decision becomes emotional. Like I said, you stay because you have to, not because you want to. So imagine what changes when your mortgage doesn't depend on one paycheck. Your options look like, okay, I could take this day off. I could take a mental health day. I can say no. I can move around. I can go part-time if I want to. I can retire early, like mom. Or you can stay just because you want to, not because you have to. So the first step is to kind of give yourself permission. Being tired doesn't make you selfish. Wanting financial peace doesn't make you selfish. Wanting choices doesn't make you selfish. You can love teaching and still build something that's yours. So I want to let that sink in. You can still teach. You can still do what you need to do for your job and still create options for yourself. You don't have to be chained down to one paycheck. So that's really why I created the Balanced Teacherpreneur, not to convince educators to quit, but to help teachers build an income that gives them those options. So what I want to do now is, if I want to open the floor for questions, but I also want to go over some FAQs, some frequently asked questions that I get a lot of when I start telling people about what I do and what the Balanced Teacherpreneur is. So a lot of questions that I get is, the first one is, I don't have a business idea. Where would I even start? You don't have to create something brand new. You don't have to come up with a new idea. The thing that people already come to you for, things that people are always asking you about or asking, can you help me with? That's the clue. So you start right there. Another question that I get is, I don't have time. I'm already exhausted. Well, hell, I didn't have time either. Okay. But I built what I do now in the cracks and on lunch breaks after my boys went to sleep. Sometimes I got up early in the morning. Sometimes I had to pull some late nights, but it's not about a lot of time that you spend. It's in those small, consistent pockets of time. So it's quality over quantity. Another question I get is, isn't it risky to start something while teaching? We know teachers are busy. We know that teachers wear multiple hats. So would it be hard to try and start something while you already got all this going on? Well, the riskiest thing is depending on one paycheck. Depending on that one paycheck that you can't afford to lose. So building options while you still have your income is actually the safe play. Another question, do I have to quit teaching? No, not necessarily. This was never about quitting. Plenty of teachers that I work with, they never leave the classroom. They just stop feeling like they're trapped in that one position. So the point is to create options. I left the classroom, but that was because I had an option to. All right. And I wanted to be able to let other people know that it's okay to create options for yourself and give them the tools, the support, and the community to do so. So my calling is still teaching. My calling is still being able to service people. It's just taking on a new direction now. Another question, I feel guilty about even wanting this. Is that normal? Yes, it's normal. I went through the same thing. Sometimes I still feel like that now. But wanting more doesn't mean that you love your students or you love your profession any less. It just means that you're finally including yourself in the equation and you're thinking more about what you want into what everybody else wants from you. Another question is, I don't know nothing about business. What if I'm not prepared? What if I'm not knowledgeable? What if I'm not businessy enough? As a teacher, you manage anywhere from 30 to 150 kids. You manage parents. You manage data. You put out 100 fires on the daily. You more than capable of having a business or having a side hustle or creating options for yourself. Again, we talking about creating options so that you're not stuck. Another question, can teachers really make money doing this? Absolutely. Look at me. And even from skills that you never think that to charge for, things that come easy to you are valuable. Basically because things that you think are easy, they're not easy for everybody else. Okay, so they're gonna be willing to come to you for it. They're gonna look to you for it. They're gonna pay you for it. So I think that kind of covers a lot of the questions that I normally get. If there are some other questions, y'all are more than welcome to put them in the chat. But I want to kind of just close this out a little bit with my with putting the ball in your court. So if I made you feel seen, if any of this resonates with any of you guys, just comment more down below, or you can also DM me if you feel like you want to be kind of quiet with reaching out to me. That's fine. But comment more down below, and I'll send you something to help you figure out your next step. And yes, it's free. But I also have a website, balancedteacherpreneur.com. There's a lot of options there. There's free options. There's paid options. There's, hey, I just want to pick your brain, Jennifer. I just want to reach out to you and talk to you for a little bit, tell you what I'm thinking, see if you can help me out. Help me make a decision, help me make a choice, help me figure out what my next plan is. All of that is on my website. So I just want to close with this. Whether you decide you want to stay in the classroom, you decide you want to leave it, my hope is still the same, that every decision that you make comes from choice, never from an emotional state of where you're feeling like you're trapped and you have to do things. All right. I never wanted to live my life feeling trapped. I don't want anybody else to feel like they're living their life feeling trapped, especially my fellow teachers, because our job is selfless, very selfless. And I don't want us to ever feel like just because somebody tells you this is your calling or remember your why, all that stuff they tell teachers. You got to think about yourself. You got to think about your family. You got to create options for you. Okay? So, I'll leave everybody with that. Again, comment more if you want to find out more, figure out want my assistance in figuring out what your next step is. Whatever your decision. If you just you still in the foggy area of whether you even think that you can have a business, you can think that you can do all that, contact me at balancedteacherpreneur.com, DM me, comment that you want more, and I look forward to hearing from some of y'all and look forward to working with you in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and close this live out. That's all I want to do is come on here and touch bases and let people know that, hey, everybody has a gift, everybody can use it, everybody can monetize off of it. So I'll see y'all later.